Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of Not the Girl Next Door. I'm your host, Meg Reynolds, and today's guest, I pretty much had to tell her to shut up before I hit the cameras rolling because she was saying too many good things. I was like, girl, save it for the episode, But if you have not seen her on TikTok, she is absolutely hilarious. You may recognize her from Seeing If Men Are Hot or if they're just on stage. Spoiler alert, 9 times out of 10, they're just on stage. But we've got Madi Marotta on the podcast with us today to surely have a little bit of a very chaotic episode.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on. So tell the people a little bit about you, who you are, like, just in case they haven't seen you before.
Okay. I start every video on TikTok with, hey guys, my name is Madi. So I'll do the same here. Hey guys, my name is Madi and I live in Nashville. And essentially I have just been being like a little Nashville socialite recently. I moved to Nashville about 2 years ago.
Okay, Paris Hilton.
Yeah, right. I know. I moved here about 2 years ago from Charlotte, North Carolina. And my whole brand is literally oversharing on the internet. And I guess the
perfect podcast for you.
Literally, right? I'm like, I have no boundaries. I made a 13-part series about my ex-boyfriend who's in jail and crashed out over a guy that I hung out with one time and he doesn't even live in this state. Like full on fetal position on the bathroom floor. I miss him.
I just need to know, do your friends like support the crash out or are they like, girl, fucking get it together? Like,
no.
I was going to say, because if they're like encouraging these crash outs, please get new friends.
No. I have my two best friends, Megan and Hannah. They are I love them so much.
That's actually really funny since I'm Megan. My best friend is Hannah.
Literally.
Maybe it's like a Megan Hannah thing.
A Megan Hannah thing. No, they were tired of me. They were tired of me when I was talking about the guy that I hung out with once who doesn't even live here. I would not shut up. I was literally like, okay guys, but like, what if his plane crashed? Like, what if he just like, what if something's wrong?
You did not say his
phone broke. Like, and my roommate, Erica, she's a little bit more, very like understanding of me, and she'll feed into it sometimes, but then other times she'll
enable it.
Yeah. Other times she has to like put her foot down and she's like, girlfriend, like, cause she's in a very happy, loving relationship. And she's like,
oh, fuck her.
Another scam call.
Motherfucker, not again.
But yeah, no, my friends put their foot down. Yeah.
Okay, good. Mm-hmm. I was going to say, do we have a therapist?
Oh my gosh, no. I had one in North Carolina. And then when I moved here, I hopped on Zoom because it was over Zoom therapy.
Yeah.
And I moved here and I was like, girlfriend, like I need a therapy session. I just moved my whole life away. Like you knew that this was happening, right? She said within the first 5 minutes of that therapy session, fully that I paid for, full price, I won't be able to see you anymore. Good luck with everything. I'm so proud of how far you've come. And then I've never spoken to her again.
She sounds like a really shitty therapist.
I miss her. She was really good when I was living in North Carolina. But like, was she? Why didn't she tell me beforehand? And keep in mind, when I moved here, I was broke. Like, yeah. So that $70 session was a lot for me. Like I didn't eat that week. I'm like, she ate, but I couldn't.
So why did you move to Nashville?
I met two girls at a random music festival.
Okay.
It was Hangout Music Festival in 2023. It was in Alabama.
Yeah.
And I was going with my friend. Her name's Carla. She was like, hey, I know my friend, she has like a whole house full of like 16 people that she needs like filled. Do you just want to stay with them? And I was like, sure. I was like, that sounds so much fun. And obviously at a music festival, you have the best 4 days of your life. Right. And I was like, I'm going to miss you guys so much. We all cried on the last night after knowing each other for 4 days. And about a week later, Mia, who is literally my best friend, she was in the house and she texted me and Carla and she was like, hey, any of you guys want to move to Nashville in August? Like, we need a room that needs to be filled. And I was like, wait, my lease ends in August in North Carolina. I was like, Sure. I signed a lease in 2 weeks. I was like, yeah, girlfriend.
So you're a very impulsive person.
Very, yes.
Could never be me. Could never be me. My anxiety could fucking never. But like, I love it for you.
No, I was, and honestly, like the first like 6 months that I moved here, I was miserable. I was looking up how to break a lease. It was that like 2024 like snowpocalypse that we had. I was like, this is horrible. I'm like, the city's shut down for a week. I'm like going insane. I'm like crying every day. I'm like, this sucks. And then I had my first Nashville summer and I was like, wait, life is worth a living. And I decided to stay for another year. And then I met my roommate, Erica, now on Facebook, actually. She seemed cool. I said, come on in, stranger. And she ended up being very, very cool. And then we lived in that house. And then, as you know, my house burned down this past January.
The lore is absolutely insane.
Guys, like it was insane. Like I wish that I had a normal life sometimes, but like it seems like everything happens like all at once. I can't ever catch a break.
No, literally. But how did you decide? Obviously, I know that fire helped you decide to stay, but like, what was it that made you finally start like giving Nashville a real chance and like loving Nashville? Because I feel like I hear people a lot of the times like they'll move somewhere and they have this like grand expectation for the city.
Yeah.
And then they hate the city because they put all these like high expectations in place.
I think when I moved here, I didn't really have many expectations.
Right.
Because it's like a 7-hour drive home. I was always like, if I miss home, like I will just drive home.
Right.
I've drove home once, but I always fly now. But that's besides the point. I don't know. I mean, I genuinely think that like my first 6 months that I was here, the reason why I was so like miserable is because like I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to like try to meet new people. And I feel like the difference between now and when I hated living here is simply just that I say yes to like literally everything. And I've met 2 of my best friends like in Nashville, Megan and Hannah. I actually knew Hannah in middle school, but like we rekindled when we both moved here. But yeah, I don't know. I like tonight, All American Rejects are going to do a little backyard party. And I found out from one of my followers and I was like, yeah, I'm like, in my mind, I already went kind of thing. But yeah, I would say saying yes to more things definitely helped me grow a lot more in Nashville. And also the fact that like I am considered like a Nashville creator now is like definitely helps a lot because I'm getting invited to more influencer events and meeting more Nashville creators and stuff. And yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah. So talk me through, like, why did you start posting on TikTok? And like, were you trying to be a creator or were you just like, I want to yap?
I've been on the internet since I was 18 years old. I started with YouTube. I was editing with like iMovie. Then I moved to Final Cut. And then I was like, yeah, YouTube is the way to go. And then COVID hit and everyone's moving from YouTube and going to TikTok and making these short form videos.
Yeah.
At first I was like, ew. I was like, TikTok, what? I downloaded this app in like 2019 and because my sister was like, my little sister was like, girl, you have to get this app. I'm like, no,
like,
I'm good.
I mean, I literally felt the same. I don't think I had TikTok on my phone probably until like towards the end of COVID.
Literally, I was like, I'm good. But I started posting on TikTok in like 2020. That was when I was still in college. So I would like post a lot about like college stuff. And like I had grown up with like the creativity brain, like did the YouTube and stuff. So I knew what like appealed to like audiences and stuff. So all my YouTube content was college content. So I was just posting on there. My subscribers found me on TikTok. And then obviously I graduated college and I'm like, oh, what can I talk about now? I'm
like, that was my entire brand.
I'm like, literally that was it was post-grad is not for the week. Like that first year that you graduate.
When did you graduate?
2022.
Okay. So you're not that much younger than I am.
How old are you?
I'm old. Okay, I graduated in 2020, so
I gotcha.
So
yeah, but then so after that was when I started having issues with the ex-boyfriend, and so I started posting about boys on TikTok, and subsequently I started posting about Taylor Swift because obviously
nothing goes better than shitty ex-boyfriends and Taylor Swift.
Exactly, and so then for I think like honestly a year or two, I was like a Swift talker. Like I was like one of the Taylor Swift TikToker things or whatever. Like I got sent to this concert by a brand last year. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I'm like, what? And then I was like, okay, I don't want my brand to be focused around someone else. Like, you know, like I don't want to be known, oh, Maddie, she makes TikToks about Taylor Swift.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And so me and my manager, Rachel, we kind of just like brainstormed a bunch of things like, okay, you could start posting like days in the lives. You could start posting this, posting that. And it just full blown went into, actually, I'm going to make a 13-part series about my ex-boyfriend who is in jail. I'm going to tell the internet that I did pay my ex-boyfriend $200 to unblock me. And he never did. And I'm going to show the like crash out, show the stuff that people like normally don't really post online because they're too embarrassed, which I should be embarrassed, but like, I think it's funny. People can laugh about it and people laugh with me. And so now I'm just like, I don't know. That's my brand on the internet now, my story.
So how do you like, cause obviously again, you literally said yourself, people are like, I don't want to post that. And I feel like that's the most common thing is like, I don't want to post that. Like, I don't want to post that. Like I asked the other guest I had on the other day about this, like to like getting past the idea of being cringe. Like, yeah. I feel like you have no fear of that though.
The thing is one, it helps that I have been in front of a camera since I was 18 years old. And two, I always tell other creators, if they're asking me all these questions, I'm always like, just think of every single video that you post as a lottery ticket, because you do not know what, you don't know which one is going to like, make like, not that it was one video that made me, and I guess like a creator, like got me all the followers or anything.
But like starting the trend to like building it.
Exactly. And with my whole 13-part series about my ex-boyfriend who went to jail, is he
still in jail?
He's still in jail. He's still awaiting trial too.
What did he do?
He initially got arrested because he tried stealing a car.
Okay.
And he obviously didn't work out. He got caught. So that's what his charges are. But all of his roommates have restraining orders on him. And I called the cops on him, but I never went through with the restraining order because like, I don't know, court scares me. I went to court for a traffic case one time.
Wait,
and
was this before or after you paid him to unblock?
This is a different ex. Yes. Two different men, guys that I let treat me like garbage. Yes. Are we shocked? This ex is the guy that I dated in Nashville. He was actually my coworker. And
never fuck your coworkers. I literally just said this with the guest I recorded yesterday because she's engaged to her coworker. Oh. So it could really go either way. You could end up with a husband or you could end up with a restraining order.
And it didn't help that my roommate, Mia, at the time.
So the coworker is the one that's in jail.
Coworker's the one that's in jail. Okay. And then the one who I paid $200, he's still in North Carolina, but we're friends.
And that's different than the situationship.
That's different than the guy that I hung out with one time.
I feel like I need like a little chart.
No, literally.
Do I get my whiteboard out? It's actually really fucking funny. I busted the whiteboard out the other day on FaceTime with my friend because I was trying to explain to him like the lore behind a situation going on in my life currently. And I literally was like writing everybody's names and like arrows and like it's actually the funniest shit ever.
But I'm sure it was very helpful too.
No, it was very helpful because I was like, I need your unbiased third-party opinion because you have never met any of these people. It's like, you know the girl on TikTok who's like, you know, you want to hear some tea and drama about people in my life that you're never going to meet because it's my tea, it's my drama. Morgan Rue, we love her. That's how I felt on FaceTime. And I was like, should I just do this on the internet?
Oh my God. I know, literally, dude. Like, but yeah, I don't even know what we were talking about. After, like,
so we have three exes. Fuck, marry, kill between the three exes.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. I would marry the one that I sent $200 to. I would kill the one that's in jail. And keep in mind, the guy that I hung out with one time, we never fucked.
So you would fuck him to find out?
I would fuck him then.
Yeah, you tell him, Rocco.
Rocco did not like that answer.
He said, you don't want to marry me?
I want to marry Rocco so bad.
Hey, bestiality, what's wrong with you?
Oh my God. I said marry, not fuck.
But okay, so is there currently any men going on in our life at the moment?
I'm practicing being a nun, actually.
Celibate queen.
Literally, the last date that I went on actually was like a whole TikTok situation.
That's
where
hilarious.
I know we call him table 100 seat 4 because that's where he was sitting in my restaurant when he gave me his phone number. Okay, stick with me here.
We love it.
He texts me a few days later and is like, hey, we should grab some drinks. I'm like, oh my God, he wants to go on a date with me.
Cuteness.
So fun. And he is hot. Like he's a good looking guy and he knows it. He posts the slutty pictures on Instagram. Like he knows that he is hot. And so I'm over here like, okay, cool. And obviously my friend has white pages or People Finder, Truth Finder.
Yeah.
Obviously we look him up and we're like, okay, he's 29 and he's single. What's up with this? I'm like, but I'm 25. I'm like,
I'm 26. I have
single.
friends that are 30 that are single.
Yeah, exactly. That's nothing wrong with that. I was like, you know what? I'm very excited for this date, right?
Yeah.
2 days before the date, his friend posts a video on TikTok about him. Hey guys, this is my friend, blah, 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 and he's single.
I think I did see this.
It goes viral.
It's got sent in our group chat and I know the guy.
It went viral. Do you love him? He's a nice guy.
He's nice. I've spoken to him a handful of times. He is handsome. He knows it.
He's hot. Yeah. Yeah. And so I literally get that sent to me and it's my friend Megan. She goes, isn't this the guy that you're going on a date with? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm going to kill myself. So obviously, what do? I post online. I post online the night that I see it.
I think that's the video that made me find you. I'm not going to lie.
And although as embarrassing as it was, we went on 2 dates and because my video also went viral and we go on 2 dates and we pretend that TikTok situation, we just did this cute little thing where we pretend it didn't happen. We never once spoke about it. Not once.
That would send me into a coma.
No. Yeah. And he knew, I told him that I'm like, yeah, this is my job. This is what I do. And he's like, oh, cool. Never once was he like, so like, are we ever going to talk about like the video that blah, blah, blah posted? I was like, okay, cool. But he was nice. And I don't know. We went to a concert that I got invited to, the Zac Brown band concert actually.
Oh, slay. Okay.
And I didn't know that it was going to be like a whole like meet and greet with Zac Brown. We did that. And I brought him. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like I had no clue that this was happening. And then he went to Florida. And then a week later, he was like, I'm just like too busy, like for a relationship, a serious relationship, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, you know what? Good. I'm like, I was just like, it felt forced at this point.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. And then we haven't spoke since. But that was like, I want to say like March or so.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah. Yeah,
I mean, welcome to Nashville dating. That's like pretty much the...
Literally. But I still shamelessly like his Instagram stories, so I don't know that I'm still there. So same with the guy that I hung out with one time who doesn't live here.
So how did we meet that guy?
He was table 12, seat 4.
What is with seat 4?
I don't know. This guy, I wasn't even serving him, but I like saw him go from the bathroom to his table and I was like, yeah, I want that one. And so I go to his server and his server basically plays matchmaker with us. I end up with his phone number. It's my birthday weekend.
Your coworkers are real ones for that.
For real, right? I know. Shout out Mitch. I love you. But it was my birthday weekend. So I had friends coming into town the next day and he was texting me. He was like, oh, we're at so-and-so bar. I'm like, oh, I'm at so-and-so bar. Let's meet up. We meet up. We have the most magical night. We're literally like, we're just like basically married. And I'm damn near in tears that he's leaving the next day. And I'm like, fuck.
Okay, but we love a 24-hour boyfriend.
Yeah, but then it gets worse. We talk for 2 weeks. We're FaceTiming every single day. He's over here saying, I requested off a weekend to go visit him where he lives.
Diabolical.
And he's like, we have to like plan a day, whatever. He's FaceTiming me. I'm like with my friends and he calls me. I'm like, these are my friends, blah, blah, blah. My friends all know about him. My mom knew about him. And I know how to lose a guy in 10 days. Tell your mom about him. And out of nowhere, he goes on this business trip and I'm like, have fun on your trip. Like so much fun, like thinking nothing of it. He never spoke to me again. And then I reached out and I was like, oh, were you just planning on never speaking to me again? Hello. And then he texted me and he was like, gave me all these excuses. Like I got sick. The business trip was so busy. I'm like, you didn't have 1 second to just be like, hey, I'm very busy. And I never responded to him for like a month. And then a month later, we took disposable photo cameras or disposable camera photos on FaceTime. They turned out like shit. They're black. They're horrible. So I send them to him. I'm like, a month later, after all this has happened and I've crashed out and I'm actually was still crashing out about him a month later, I send them to him. Hey, these are our photos. We should like try to retake them sometime, whatever. That was smooth, right? He did not respond. And he is in London right now with his besties. And I'm liking every single one of their Instagram stories.
I want to take your phone privileges away, I think. It's okay. I literally had a situation happen to me this year like that. I've had 2 situations like that. So this year I went home for Christmas and I was visiting my best friend. She lives in Hoboken. I narrowly avoided running into my college ex. Like she was like, "Where do you want to go to dinner?" I was like, "I really want Italian. You know, I don't get good Italian."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Okay, I'm going to pick a restaurant." There was like 2 really good Italian places that she loves within a block of each other. We picked one. Him and all of his buddies were at the other one and they posted an Instagram story. I was like,
oh my God.
I haven't seen that man in a long ass time.
My butthole clenches whenever like I barely run into my ex.
There's literally no like ill will, at least on my part there, but I'm also like, I don't want to see you in the wild. I'm good. I'm good on that.
Yeah, I'm good on that too.
I'm good on that. But we went home and she's like, I wish you would like meet a guy here and like move back. So as a fucking joke, I was off dating my apps for months. So as a joke, we like re-downloaded Bumble. First guy. I'm like hitting it off. This is like, again, right before New Year's Eve. So we're talking from like towards the end of December, all the way up into the beginning of February. He's like, we've picked a date that he's going to like fly down here. We're like, I never even met, we would FaceTime every day.
Hey, welcome to it.
FaceTime every day. Literally like one Saturday, he was like, okay, like we were on FaceTime. He's like, all right, I'm going to run to the gym. It's like, cool, great. Talk to you later.
Never
heard from him again.
I just got chills.
Like, I literally, there was a moment I was like, what if he like got hit in the subway? Like someone pushed him on the subway tracks? No, but it gets worse. It gets worse because he did reach back out. I want to say like over a month, it was like a month and a half later. It was like mid-April. And I like literally wake up and because I had sent him one final text. Because I like
you always have to send the final text.
But it wasn't like a crash out text. I was very proud. I was just more of like, I really thought you'd have more respect for me.
That's what I said to the Austin guy. I was like, are you just never going to speak to me again?
I literally said, I was like, I really would have hoped you had more respect for me to do like, to just say something other than ghost, but like, fuck off. You're 29 years old, grow up. Why are 29-year-olds?
Mine was 27.
But he literally, I wonder if I still have the text. I wonder if I still have it.
Oh my gosh, if you have your text, then I can read mine too.
I literally deleted his number though. So like, I didn't know, it took me, I'm not gonna lie. For a second I was like, who the fuck is sending me this long ass dramatic text message at 7 a.m? I was like, so.
He sent you a long, was he apologetic?
Fuck him. I don't care if he apologized.
Oh.
Grow up. You should, here's the thing, don't do something that you need to apologize for in the first place. Grow up.
As Taylor Swift says, if you don't want me to make bad videos about you, don't do bad things to me.
Every time a man says to me, what are you going to talk about in your podcast? Don't give me something to talk about.
And exactly.
Actually, it was really fucked up. I was on the phone with my best friend last night and she was like, see, if you ever, she was like, what did she say? I forget how she put it, but it was like, see, but if you ever had a healthy relationship, like, what would you talk about on the podcast? I was like, you bitch.
Okay, don't clock me like that.
I was like, but I could then I still talk about good things in my life. She's like, yeah,
you do. Like, I've seen the good things.
She was like, yeah, but people don't want to hear that. They want the funny dating stories. I'm like,
and that's
you're
true.
Right.
It's
okay,
true.
but I do have the text.
Oh my gosh, please let me see.
He goes, hey, I want to apologize for leaving you hanging the way I did.
Wait, pause. How long was this after he ghosted you?
Like a month and a couple weeks. It was like end of February, beginning of March.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it was like, this was like it was too long at that point.
Yeah.
Where I was like, you could have just.
Like, you're already over the situation.
Yeah, I literally didn't know who was texting me. Because I fully forgot about this man for like a hot second. So yeah, it was like the beginning of March. He goes, I want to apologize for leaving you hanging the way I did. I think it was really cowardly of me, regardless of the stress I was feeling at the time. Fucking bite me. And ghosting really isn't my style with people. With people I care about or have a genuine connection with. Clearly it is your style. You fucking ghosted. He goes, I'm genuinely sorry about not being upfront with you and it must have been hard on your end. Oh, I was so heartbroken. Oh.
Okay. I was with my.
No, I literally gagged when I read this. I was like, you're fucking joking. I was like, buddy, I almost literally responded, I had to sit and remember who texted me this because I didn't.
I wish you did.
But then he goes, he followed it up with pretty hard thoughts to escape from. Pretty hard thoughts to escape from while I'm packing for my conference flight on Sunday. And it made me think about Nashville. The drama. Did he
go to fucking war or something? Like, you went to a conference.
You're going to a conference and packing for your because that was like he texted me. That was like one of the weekends that we had talked about him coming. So I was like, oh, was it just so hard? You should have been going to the airport to come to Nashville.
Let me see if I can find this guy.
That's not even the most absurd thing a man ever said when he was trying to ghost me.
Oh, I found it immediately. First of all, look at how much blue there is.
Oh no.
Well, that was the one that he sent, but this is what I sent.
And this is the man we crashed out over.
This was like fully like I thought I was going to marry this guy. I was so obsessed with him.
After this episode, I think I'm going to give you my therapist's number.
Oh my God knows I need it.
I swear, I need a referral code from my therapist because I give her, I like literally give her to everybody. I'm like, Jenna, you should give me a discount because I sent her so many.
That is so funny.
To be fair though, I have crashed out really badly over a man. Like a couple years ago, I crashed out hard. But this was like, I literally got stood up for the date. Like I was outside waiting for him to pick me up. No, I'm not even kidding. It was supposed to be a breakfast date. I was standing outside, like ready to go.
Did he just sleep in and forget?
No, we were texting. He's like, okay, I'm leaving now, like to come get you. I like literally thought this man died in a car crash. He did not. He's like, I found on social media like a year later, he popped up with a girlfriend and moved to a new city. And I was like, I'm not kidding. So like
I'm like, I need to check my pulse. Like,
I did crash out over it though, because like I knew we had one random mutual friend in common from like it was somebody I went to college with, and like I hadn't spoken to this friend since I graduated college. I was like, hey, this is so random. But did they die? Like, I genuinely though, I was like, did he get in a car accident?
No, yeah, you would think.
I was so sad. I was like outside ready for this like cute little breakfast
I bet
date.
that walk home that drive home was miserable.
He probably was in bed in his fucking boxers. Like, if we're being so for real. Like, if we're being so fucking for real.
Planning his other breakfast date.
I just like... insane behavior on men's part.
Men are horrible.
The lore, like it's like really funny because I think of all the dating stories I have from when like I first moved to Nashville before I started going to therapy, before like my ex and shit, and just like the amount of bullshit that I put up with from, granted I was 22. Yep.
Yeah. When I was 22, I was cash apping my ex-boyfriend $200.
I don't think I could ever, you could not torture that information out of me on the internet. So I love you so much for that.
But could you ever do it? If you loved a man so much and you thought this is the man that like I am going to be with for the rest of my life, which I thought
you.
That was his favorite hobby. This was like a 2 or 3 times a week kind of situation. I thought that was my husband.
Genuine question. Do you think your future husband is going to block you?
No. Now that I know this and I have been to therapy.
Are you sure you don't want to give him Stockholm Syndrome? I'm so sorry. The intrusive thought won that time.
Oh my God.
Maddie's like, I'm never speaking to you again.
Bye. That is so funny. No, he's apologized for being how he was. And honestly, Wait,
do we still speak to him?
Yeah. We're like in a friend way. Like we haven't hooked up in years. Like, yeah, that's normal, right? He sends me PR. Like, it's great.
Wait, he sends you PR? Can he send me PR?
I will ask him.
Wait, PR for what?
He has a clothing company and a drink company.
Okay, wait, slay.
Isn't that cool?
Do they need content?
I will ask him. He's in North Carolina though. So it's like.
So he can send me stuff. I make the content and I send it right back to him. I love how I'm doing like, this is what happens when you turn into an entrepreneur, guys. Everything is a business opportunity.
Everything is networking.
Everything's networking. Everything's a business opportunity. Like,
no, I will absolutely ask him.
I'll stop roasting him then. Hey.
He told me about a date that he went on last week, but the date was in London.
What?
Yeah. He flew to London to go see a girl. And like, I'm happy for him. Absolutely.
But I wish it was me.
I wish it was me.
How'd I fucking know? What is with, okay, why do we love people that don't live in our state?
Dude, I don't know. Well, I lived in North Carolina when we were dating. And then,
but like,
even now I'm like, if he lived in Nashville, I'm pretty sure that I would be trying with all my might to be with him. But like, he doesn't. So it's fine.
like, I'm just going to move home to be with him.
But honestly, no. I think there's a logical answer to why we like people that don't live in our state.
Okay, tell me.
I love my alone time. I bet that you love your alone time too.
Yes.
And I feel like if you were to like for example, my friend Hannah, she met a guy last year, and like a couple months later, whatever, like I think 2 or 3 months later, her lease was ending. She didn't really know where she was going to go. And then she just ended up moving in with this man. They're still a great couple to this day. I love them both. I could just not imagine living with a man or even having a man in my space for more than 2 hours.
No, literally my old roommate and best friend, when her and her boyfriend moved in together, she was like, no, we have to have
separate rooms.
They literally have their own separate bedrooms because she's like, I need my space.
And I'm all for that because I think that's the reason why we like people that don't live near us, because it's like, sure, I can do a weekend. I can do a weekend with you.
And it's also just like, it's planned out.
Exactly.
There's none of I don't know. I literally said the same thing though when I started touring last year. I was like, I actually was seeing a guy who worked on a boat last year.
Love boats.
He was like home for a month and then he'd be gone for a month.
Love
and
that.
I was like, honestly, this is like the closest to a long distance relationship without being long distance. And I was like, this is fucking great. Obviously it didn't work out. He dumped me the day after I got laid off because he was like, I realized I don't want a relationship. And I'm like, you literally just cooked me dinner and are consoling me that I got laid off from my job. What are we doing? Like, what? He really
kicked you while you were down.
He really kicked me on it. He was also really fucking boring. And like,
I don't like a boring man.
I literally, before I went over there, I was having this conversation with my friend, like before I got laid off. I was like, I'm kind of just like bored. Like, I don't think and then he started putting in more effort. Like he was like really trying I was like, okay, so he's stepping up. Like maybe.
He listens.
He listened. I was like, okay, I expressed my concern and he listened. And I was like, then why are you, what? It was the weirdest thing. And then a couple months before that, this is the other crazy thing a guy said to me. I was in LA for work. I'd been seeing this guy. I was seeing both of them at the same time. Whatever, oopsies. But
I love you.
Yeah, but idol. It wasn't like, we weren't like an official.
Yeah.
But I was getting to know both of them.
Yeah.
And so the one guy, we had just, of course, before I left, we had just slept together. Dumbass mistake number one. How to lose a guy in 10 days. Sleep with him.
Yep. And then tell your mom about him.
Yes.
And tell your friends about him.
Tell your friends about him. Save his phone number in your phone.
Save his phone number. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Uh-huh. And I was in LA for work. He was supposed to pick me up from the airport when I got back. And I swear, it's like the wheels landed in LA and he started being fucking weird. And I was like, okay. So he was being sus. The morning of, I'm literally in LA for iHeart Awards. So I'm like working. And the morning of the award show, he's just being sus. It's like Easter. And I literally said to him, I was like, if you're not going to pick me up from the airport tomorrow, like just be so for real right now. I'm not getting stranded at the airport. Like what is going on?
Yeah.
So he was like, well, like, I don't know. And so I tried to call him. I was like, let's just be fucking adults and have a phone call. Call him. He first didn't answer. He was like, give me 5. So he calls me back. And he was like, I was like, where were you Friday night? I was like, be so fucking for real. I was like, I know you weren't just with your guy friends. You stopped answering. And like, meanwhile, this is the same guy that like, while he was on a boys trip in Florida, was like up my ass, FaceTiming me every night, showing me to his guys. Like,
that's what my guy did.
And I was like, I know you weren't just with the boys. He was like, you're right. Like he basically admitted there was a different girl the entire time who he knew he was going to date. And he said Friday night, they agreed to make it official. Why did that light die? And I looked at him, I was like, why did we even start up then if this girl was already
in the picture?
Already in the picture. Again, I didn't care for the sole fact of like, we're getting to know each other. You didn't owe me anything yet, but like, you owed me decency.
Yeah, right?
And he was just like, I still can't believe a man actually said this to me. He goes, I don't know, all's fair in love and war, I guess.
Shakespeare.
And I literally
Wait, I was expecting him to say all's fair in love and poetry.
No, he goes,
like Taylor Swift.
This is right before Tortured Poets came out. Like Tortured Poets came out like a couple weeks later. And I was like, thank you, Taylor. Thank you, mother. No. And I literally said, I was like, did you seriously just say that to me? He was, yeah, I guess I did.
That's crazy. Tell me you hung up on him.
Oh yeah. And then he said, well, it gets better. So then he fires off into like but if she was in the picture, like, I really think we could go somewhere. And like, he goes, and I know you probably don't feel the same way, but like, I really do wish the best for you. And I go, I'm going to stop you right there. You're not going to paint me out like I'm some fucking bitch right now. All right. I was like, you fucked up, lose my number. Goodbye. And I hang up. Well, later that year, I'm on Hinge again.
You see him?
He likes me on Hinge.
Oh no.
And I go, I was like, was like, what the fuck? And so I messaged him. I was like, fancy seeing you here. Oh no, I said,
yeah, how's your girlfriend?
I guess it didn't work out with the other girl. And he goes, no, that didn't last long after that. And I was just like, well, you know what they say, all's fair in love and war.
Oh my God.
He goes, yeah, I probably deserved that. And I just like unmatched him. I was like, he still follows me on Instagram to this day. And I'm like, okay, we love a little stalker. He'll like my stories from time to time. It's really fucking funny.
I love that. Speaking of the Tortured Poets department, I have a loser ex-boyfriend.
Which one?
This one, I dated him for 2 months long distance, and he lived in North Carolina. This is a total different guy than the guy that like
I'm basically hearing don't date a man from North Carolina.
Or Austin, Texas, apparently.
Or Nashville, Tennessee.
Or Nashville, Tennessee.
Because that guy and my actual ex are both from Nashville.
Anyways. God, where is it better, guys? Like, seriously. So I was dating him, and like towards the end of the relationship, he was Tortured Poets Department came out. He was like, oh, like, what are your favorite songs? Like, but when I say loser, like his only friend was his dog and his mom, and he didn't leave his apartment to go do anything. He worked remote.
Date the same man?
Like,
no, my ex didn't work remote. But
he literally he would stay in his apartment for days on end, and I was just like, why? Go on a walk. Like he's like, I walk my dog. I'm like, go to the gym, do something. Like, I'm like, whatever. So towards the end of the relationship, Tortured Poets Department came out. He was like, what are some of your favorite songs? And I told him, I'm like, oh my God, wow. Like Fresh Out the Slammer and The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. Fresh Out the Slammer is like total, like I miss my ex-boyfriend core. Like I would like,
that's you
after this relationship. literally. And then The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived is I hate my ex-boyfriend core. And when we were breaking up, we obviously had to break up over the phone because we were long distance. And why was I crying on the breakup call? First of all, I don't know. I think I just felt bad. But he was like, yeah, I could tell you kind of weren't into me based off of those songs that you sent me. I'm like, what?
Okay, well, at least he listens.
At least he listened to the songs. Yeah, absolutely. And then I think a week later, I went home and I did fuck my ex-boyfriend, the one that I paid $200 to.
So you were unblocked at that time?
Yes.
You didn't pull a strawberry and just show me.
We have to talk about strawberry.
No, that girl scares me. Where are her friends? Where are her friends?
I love that strawberry girl more than life.
She's coming for your check.
No, I know. She's coming for my brand, first of all. But I love her. I love her to death. Her first video, she was like, guys, this is hour 30 of like being ghosted. Girlfriend, hour 30. I would have started making videos in hour 12. I think I did.
She's got some things to learn from you.
She has some things to learn. But I'm like seeing all these comments and stuff. And I'm like these comments are so different than my comments. Like my comments are like, yes, girl, go get your man. Like, yes, this is your sign to text him. Those comments are like, here's my therapist's phone number. That
would be me. I'd be like, here's my therapist's phone number.
And it's like, she is continuously like posting about it. And honestly, I did the same thing. But I don't think that she is actively like going to his apartment. I don't think she's actively like texting his mom. I don't think she's actually texting his roommate.
You don't think she did any of that?
I think one of my comments on the videos were like, at the end of one of her videos, she said that like, this is like all fake.
Oh, that's no fun.
I know. But I don't know. I've only had one comment that said that. So I'm like,
boo. But like if she actually did it, get help.
No, I know. But like for me, I was doing every single thing that I said. I was looking up his flight. I was looking up flight trackers, see if his plane crashed to Canada. I texted him, I think like 4 times with no response. I'm still liking his Instagram stories months later.
But I feel like you're not as delusional as you make people think you are. Or are you?
That's a really interesting concept. Because honestly, with this guy, absolutely 100%. With any other guy, like the table 100 seat 4, he wasn't interested, so I'm not interested. Done. We're like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I am delusional. I am, but only with this one guy. And like maybe the guy that I sent $200 to, and like
the ones that don't live here.
The ones that don't live here, I feel like, yes, definitely. And God, I love my boyfriends and my ex-boyfriends. I'm an inclusive person, okay?
You just love everybody. You just want to share the love.
I guess so. But yeah, delusional for sure. Smart about it sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I do exaggerate sometimes on the internet, though. I'll tell you that.
Shocker.
Are we shocked?
No, who doesn't?
Yeah, exactly.
The internet's not real.
It's not real.
The internet's not real.
That's why I like podcasts. It's like, it seems very much like very authentic, very like, oh my God.
I try to be without sharing too much because I'm like, always like, I still work with clients.
Yes.
There are some stories where I'm like, I can't share that because I work with clients still.
Yep.
I gotta keep some, I'm a yapper, but I will keep some mystery around my life.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There are things I won't reveal where I work on the internet. And I have this whole like, hey guys, my name is Maddie. I'm a server in Nashville. Like, I will never say where I work.
People do have really weird parasocial relationships with people on the internet though. And I, to that say, get a life.
I don't get me wrong. I love when people come up and say hi. I like, oh my God, this weekend I met so many people like, oh my God, I love you. Let's get a picture, blah, blah. The other day, a girl comes into work and she was so sweet. She wasn't from here. She was visiting her friend. And I guess she was like visiting a band or like following a band on tour or whatever. And she comes in and at the end of her meal, I'm not even serving her. She's like, Maddie, I'm like, hi. She goes, so sorry. Like we like just needed to figure out where you worked. And I'm so glad that we did. Can we get a picture? Stuff like that. Like where they're nice, calm, and respectful. Yeah. Absolutely. 100%. But like, if it's like, you're following me to my car, that's the reason why I'm not.
And like people are just so weirdly, they feel like entitled to people's lives. It's like a really weird thing on the, because obviously like, like the Remy Bader shit, like that exploded. And like, it's hard because I think when you share things on the internet, there is an expectation of honesty. Yeah. Especially if it's also hard when you build your brand around something. Because then that's just like, you have to think of like people, like influencers in a sense of like, as there's the person and then there's the brand.
Yes. Thank you. Say it louder.
And like, that's what I tell people, like how I built my podcast. I'm like, okay, there's me. And then there's me who runs the podcast and like my company.
Yes.
And they're the same, but there's also certain pieces of my life that because I don't share on the podcast, I'm not expected to. But like if I were to sit here, again, like I've talked about before how I struggle with my weight my whole life and like body dysmorphia and all those things. If I turn around and same thing, pulled a Remy Bader and just like dropped all this weight and like wouldn't talk about it and started monetizing like all these random things, yeah, I understand why people would be pissed.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's false advertising. I'm like leading them on. Like if she had just said like, I'm not doing Ozempic, but I'm also not comfortable sharing what happened
yet. Like, yes, that's still honesty.
Like don't just block people.
Literally. No, that's right, still Rocco? Honesty. Yeah.
Right, King?
Yeah. Yes, King. Yes.
I love how he's just laying on the cord. But it's really weird. Like people have these really weird entitlements on the internet. And it's like a beautiful thing about social media that's connected us to so many other people. But I think people have lost the ability to like actually be humans.
Yes.
And like normal fucking humans.
Absolutely. The Emily Kaiser.
Oh God, that's so heartbreaking.
It's so heartbreaking, but people are
weird.
People are being exactly what you just talked about. They're expecting things that they shouldn't be expecting from anyone. You know what I mean?
And they're forgetting that these people are still human.
These people are human. And like, it's just, I don't know, that whole situation is just so heartbreaking to think about. I would never in a million years speak my piece on the internet it would be weird and try to monetize off of it.
Yes. I find it really weird. Like all the other mom creators that are going and making the videos and then monetizing them.
It's 1 minute long. They're getting paid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even when they say, oh, this isn't sponsored, you're still getting paid.
Yep.
On the video. Like, this isn't an ad. Yes, it is. Yep. If your account's monetized, pretty much everything you post is essentially an ad for something.
And that's correct.
But it's true. It's like, even if you're not pushing a product, like you're still monetized. You're still basically being an ad for yourself at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I said, the lottery ticket, like, almost all of my videos, unless I'm trying to get my RPM up, they're going to be over a minute long. Partly because I enjoy like talking on the internet, and partly because I want to get paid. Like,
I don't blame
this is
you.
my job. Yeah.
Yeah. With obviously you being who you are on the internet, I kind of talked about this. We both have very clearly very big personalities.
Huge.
Like could fill a fucking room with our personalities. But something I really struggled with growing up was getting called annoying or like being told I'm too much. And like, that's kind of how this podcast came to be, is like me learning to just be myself and embrace my loudness, embrace the bubbliness that is myself.
Yes.
And like, I'm sure you've probably gotten told that a million times over, like, oh my God, Maddie, you're so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Like
multiple times.
How do you, one, deal with that, but two, also just like be like, fuck off. Like I'm me. And like, cause I think it would be so easy to like that, for that have to stop you.
But no, I think a part of, embracing my big personality and not really giving a fuck what people think of me in person or online, truthfully, is a big part of that, is that it is my job. I am going to have this big personality, whether I like it or not. And I remember my very first YouTube video that I posted at 18 years old, still in high school. I went to high school in England. So I was like, I know.
What the fuck?
There's too much lore. I went to high school in England, and I was the only American in my graduating class.
They really hated your ass.
They hated me. Oh my God. They like, granted, like, sure, I had my like group of friends and stuff, but like, oh my God, if Maddie was there, Maddie was talking, kind of thing. So when I first posted, when I posted my first YouTube video, I remember walking around with my phone and going to each and every different lunch table and pressing play on this 6-minute long YouTube video of me getting my braces off. Literally, I would walk over, be like, hey guys, did you guys see my video yet? And I'd sit and I'd watch them watch it. And so I think that is definitely a lot of the reason why I am the way that I am today. And also, I grew up like, my mom was in the Air Force, so I grew up like moving every 2 years. Yeah. So I kind of had to have this big bubbly personality, which is crazy because my little sister is total introvert, like really total opposite of me. And I don't know. I mean, I get paid for the big personality. It's as simple as that. But yeah, I love it. I wouldn't change a thing. Yeah. You wouldn't change a thing, which no,
because I also say too, like I have found the best friends, and like all of the best things in my life have come when I started embracing myself instead of like toning myself down.
Yes, exactly. Like I was always a fan of Taylor Swift. I toned it down on the internet, went full blown. Like I am like Taylor Swift's liking my TikToks and stuff. And then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I never talked about my exes online. Talked about my exes online. Talked about like the butthole hair that I braided the other day online. What do you know? What do you know? Like it's being big and loud has brought me a lot of opportunity.
No. Okay, the other thing that bothers me about TikTok lately too is all the accounts that are like, here's how you're gonna get 10.
Fuck off. Those are my least favorite. I'm angry talking about them. And their whole page is just them talking about how they grow a TikTok, how they do
that's
this.
How they're growing, because they're talking about the things that people like. They know exactly what they're doing. They're not actually experts, and two,
they're not content creators. The content that they are creating is just basically an MLM scheme. Like, do this, do that. Like, hey, also,
okay. What bothers me even more? There's this one girl going by. I don't want to say it bothers me because that's mean and that's not nice to her. But like, why are we using ChatGPT to figure out how to go viral? Where is the creativity in that? And like, I'm sorry to say it, not everybody should get to be an influencer or content creator, because if you don't want to sit there and work on the skills, work on the video editing, work on your brand itself, why should you build a following? And this is what bothers me about those freaking accounts is they're not yes, it is great to look at what your favorite creators have done, like Brand Flakes. I love the way he talks about how he's blown up.
I love him. I
adore, like, what do I have to do to get Brand Flakes on my podcast? I will I don't know.
Brand Flakes, please. What
do I have to do to get him on here? Because I will pay for his flight to fucking Nashville.
No, seriously.
And sitting on this couch.
That's so valid. He's such an authentic creator. And I think that's what sets content creators apart from like these how to get viral in like 10 days, blah, blah, blah. The authenticity. Like, first of all, brands like working with authentic people. Followers are going to be more engaging with people who are just...
The numbers don't matter if you don't build a community. And
exactly.
Like, this is what I tell all of my clients too that I work with for socials. I'm like, I don't care how... I'm like, I can help you grow your account, yes, but like, what are we saying?
Exactly.
Like, why is somebody going to follow you over the next talented musician? Or why are they going to hire you over the next talented whatever? Like... It's because they want you as a person. Like, no longer can brands just like be faceless. Like, you have to have a personality and a face of your brand.
Yes.
And it drives me nuts, all those accounts, because I'm just like, but you're leaving out the biggest piece of the puzzle. And that is you, the person. Like, and this is where it's like the good side of social media, not the weird parasocial relationships. It's like, no, people want to see relatability. They want to see like, you know, just have somebody they feel like they can connect with outside of their shitty lives, or someone to make them laugh after they've had a really hard day at work. Like I had the guest I had on yesterday, her name's Amber Autry. She's a comedian. She's fucking hilarious.
Oh, but that's awesome.
talked about how like so many people come up to her and be like, your videos like saved my marriage, or like, you know, like I've had a really hard life and like you just make me laugh and forget about that. Like you just don't know what your videos are going to do for somebody, but it just drives me nuts when people because again, I feel like the accounts like that and people using ChatGPT to create their content, it's taking the art and creative out of content creation. And I'm like, that is such a slippery slope.
It is very slippery. And it's also like, it's just like, I feel like it's oversaturating. Like obviously the content creator market is already oversaturated.
You can say that about any creative field, musicians, like photographers and videographers. Like you can say wedding space. You can say everything is oversaturated, but that's why it's so important to find your voice and your brand, because people are going to want to follow you in an already oversaturated space.
Brand Flakes actually said something in one of his videos today, and I am still thinking about it. He was like, when I was like becoming an influencer, doing all this, whatever, I caught myself looking at what other creators are posting. What helped me and what set me apart from everyone else was, what are other creators not posting about? And I think that's genius. Because
absolutely,
you can follow anyone's Get Ready With Me and they're moreover going to be the same.
I can't do Get Ready With Me. I hate them. I'm sorry. I've tried them. I've tried the Day in My Lives. They drive me nuts because, well, here's the thing. I also forget half the time, and maybe this is a me thing, but I'm just like, I forget half the time.
No, I get it. And sometimes when I'm filming my days in the life, like I'm like, sorry guys, forgot to film my walk today or whatever. I'm like, speaking of, we need to get a clip for her. I'm like, give me 2 seconds, guys. Influencer at work.
Can't wait to see this in the daily vlog.
But no, I mean, I filmed a Get Ready With Me for the podcast, and I didn't post it yet just because I was literally walking out the door. But I am going to post it. But it's so funny that you're mentioning Brand Flakes, because I mentioned him in the video and how he is literally one of my favorite creators to watch.
So one of my favorite
He's
creators.
amazing.
He's amazing. And just like, I love his authenticity, and I just like love how he is authentically himself. And I think, again, in this era of the social media is becoming oversaturated, I think it's so important to hold on to your uniqueness, your voice, your boldness, your loudness. Like everything is becoming too, what's the word? Uniform.
Yes.
And it's scary.
Yes. Very much
scary.
so. I know. And like, I know it's like funny, like when I post like my, like crashing out over a guy that I just met once, but like, guys, I'm showing you how it really is.
No,
like,
honestly, sometimes my therapist is going to kill me if she ever hears me say this. Sometimes I miss like the chaotic date. I just like am so bored of it. I think I've healed too much.
And
I've healed a little too much.
No one can never heal too much.
But like I literally miss like the days of chaotic crashing out sometimes.
Yeah. I'm like me after like 1 month of like being a nun.
Maybe I should just start telling all the past stories of
my rule is always like, I'm never going to like update the internet on something that's happening in real time. For example, the date with that guy.
Yeah.
When that whole TikTok thing was happening, obviously everyone was like, well, what's the update on the date? What's the update on this? Blah, 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 whatever. I was like, oh girls, like you're going to get this in probably like a few months, like after like we ended things and stuff. And I was like,
you want to process?
Yeah, I know.
Reflect.
I'm like, I didn't want to be like, I don't know. And plus I feel like that just keeps people coming back to my page. Like,
true. Where's the update? Has any guy ever not gone on a date with you or like canceled a date on you because they found your TikTok?
Normally they either know about my TikTok or just don't even have TikTok at all or don't really know about it. I love a man with
no social media.
To an extent.
Okay, but I work in social media all day long. So I love me a man that's like, what's that?
What do you mean? Because they're going to be impressed with you. And
it's not even that. It's just like, they don't know my world. Mm-hmm. That, and like, I don't want to date. Like, I'm so afraid of dating a man that just is like, come make this with. I'm like, oh, I mean, all day long.
I know, like, I don't know. My ex-boyfriend he's big. He's a musician. He has to be big on social media. The one that I sent $200 to.
Wait, I need to, once we cut the cameras.
I'll
tell me who it is.
So like, and it was always a thing because I was doing YouTube at the time that like I was dating him, and a lot of like what we did, like when we were together was like, I always felt like his things were clouding mine.
Yeah.
Like it was always the him show. We were always doing whatever he wanted to do. And I was just there on the side filming and editing my stupid, silly little YouTube videos and stuff. And so now,
look at you now.
Dude, now it's like, oh my God. Like I literally, it's so funny to think about because he, has grown as a musician and is doing all these really cool things. And I'm very proud of him for it. I have more followers than him. That's plain and simple.
Period.
Simple. He never figured out the TikTok algorithm, so he was never really like posting on there. That's where I thrive. He does have more Instagram followers than me, but
fuck Instagram.
I have more viral reels than him. So
Instagram reels suck.
Oh, horrible. Yeah. It's a horrible, scary place.
Horrible, scary. Everyone's too serious.
Everyone is terrifying in the comments, which is why I only post my days in the life on them and maybe a few of my viral TikTok videos. That's it. Yep.
I'm fucking dead.
What I am scared about, because I don't think guys are really intimidated until they actually see that I do post like 15 times a day. I am scared about that they will see a video after like I talk about him. You know what I mean? Or after we're done talking.
Has any guy ever called you out for that?
Actually, the ex that I sent $200 to because
maybe I was using your future husband.
Dude, I know. Honestly, him. Because I used to like use his name all the time in videos because I was like, this is gonna help him too. I'm like, yeah, like great.
I'm just being a supportive ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. And then like it was like a month of me like saying like, yeah, by the way, like this is more ex-boyfriend lore, but I like put his name in there. And then out of the blue one day he was like, dude, like, you got to stop using my name. Like, you can't do, like, why am I the only ex that you're naming? Like, blah, blah, blah. It's just so disrespectful. And I'm like over here, like getting flashbacks from 2022. I'm like, whatever, I'll apologize and I'll stop using his name. But yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's insane, dude. That's fucking insane, dude. Oh my God. Well, I know we got to start wrapping up, but
yeah,
for obviously, if there's anyone who's listening who is like looking to start content creation and like being a content creator, and if you had to start your whole journey over again, like, is there anything you would do differently or start sooner?
I would start posting as much as you can on any sort of app. Apps love when you use their apps for sure, especially in an account with zero. If you create engaging content and it's still like consistent throughout your day, you're going to skyrocket. You're going to like go insane, like on the internet, because I mean, it is all about consistency online. And I will say, I wish that something that I would do differently is I wish that I never stopped on YouTube and I continued YouTube and TikTok.
Why not start YouTube again?
I am. Yeah, absolutely.
I was just going to yell at you, but
I know, I am. And because if you want content creation to be your full-time job, make sure you have more than one line of content of monetization. So like YouTube Shorts, I'm working on getting that monetized right now.
Girl, aren't we all?
Aren't we all? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would just say be consistent and make sure you're not just posting everything all in one app. But that's what I've got for you.
I love it. And where can people find you on all your platforms?
You guys can all find me at Madi Marotta on everything. Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, actually. So yeah.
she'll be around and I'm around, and now she's stuck with me and we have to share more lore. So we will probably get hammered together one night.
Please, God. Please. All American Rejects
And
tonight.
our friend Jake, when his leg heals. Sorry, I had to give that shout out.
We love you, Jake.
We love you so much, Jake. Please don't ride a scooter if you're in Nashville. Otherwise, you can take an ambulance to the...
And break your leg.
Oh, Jakey poo.
I love you, Jake.
We love you, Jake. But that's all for this week's episode of Not the Girl Next Door. If you're not already following Maddie, make sure to give her a follow and follow us at Not the Girl Next Door podcast, wherever you're listening. And I will see you guys next week for another episode. Bye for now.
Bye.